Hello everyone, Tony Embry, Stampin' Up independent demonstrator, and wanted to come to you today live for my first live video. I haven't done one before. I've just done other videos. I thought, well, I'll take the pledge today. So we're going to make a card that I designed to send out to friends and shut-ins at our church that just weren't able to get out, and so I thought I'd use some of our products to come up with it. So I made quite a few of them, but I have lately been using some of the expiring or the colors that are retiring from Stampin' Up. So this one is called Grapefruit Grove. It's just a really pretty peachy orange color. So anyway, this is the card that I'm going to show you how to make today. And I made quite a few of them actually and mailed them out. And the response has been really nice. People are just appreciate being thought about. So anyway, so this one says, together we could get through anything. And it has a little buddy, it's some flowers and a little fence. And then inside it says hugs, prayers, and love. So I will, it's a Z-fold card. So I will put that here, and then I will show you the products that we're using. So you could use whatever colors you like, but for this project, I chose to use the light and dark Fleur de Flamingo Stampin' Blends, and then the light and dark Calypso Coral, our light and dark Granny Apple Green, and our light and dark Crumb Cake. So you could use whatever fits, and I do change them based on the colors I use in the cards. I've done them lots and lots of different colors. And then this product here is the Gingham Gala, and it's 6x6 designer series paper, and it has lots of different colors in it, but it has some of the retired colors. So it has Grapefruit Grove and stuff. So anyway, it's really pretty, and it has the large ones, the large gingham squares on one side and the smaller ones on here. So you can make your choice on that. So anyway, then I was going to show you the stamps. So from the Grace's Garden set, I'm going to use the fence post here, and then these, which look like hollyhocks to me. So I have those already on my stamps for those. And then from the Perfectly Framed set, I'm using this one that says, together we could get through anything. I just love a lot of those ones that are in here. They also have some other little pieces and a to and from and stuff that you can put on gift cards, I think. So anyway, sending hugs. So that's that one. And I have it already on. It's hard to read it, but there. And then from the Positive Thoughts, which I really like this one. I've used the fern before. We're going to do the Hugs, Prayers, and Love one from that one. So, and I just knocked it off here, but see if I can put it back on. Hugs, Prayers, and Love. Okay. And then, of course, the buddy comes from the Fable Friends, which has lots of cute things in there. So you could use it for Easter, for babies, or this buddy has been said to me, it looks like it's praying, so it's very appropriate for what we're doing right now. Okay, so I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way so I can work. It's getting a little bit crowded here on my work surface. And move the card over. So here we go with, I've already pre-cut. This is just a scrap that we're going to stamp the buddy on. And then I'll move my little cheat sheet over here because I can't remember all these. So the card base itself, okay, is 5.5 by 8.5, and then we've scored it at 2 inches and turned it back, and then at 4.25. Okay, so you could make the card base any color you like. I just chose to do the white, and so you just do this one back, and then use your bone folder to burnish the edges. That's it. Okay, so that's done. And then for the front of the card, so right here, this color here, this particular piece is any stock color you want, but it's 3 inches by 5.25. And then we have a white piece that's going to go on top. We're going to stamp on that one. And that particular one is going to be 2.75 by 5 this way. Okay, so that'll go there. And then we have for this edge over here, we have this piece here, and the DSP. Well, you see, you could use either side, but this DSP is going to be 1.5 by 1.5 by 5.25, and then the piece white that goes on top of that is going to be 1.25 by 5. So we'll go on here like this, and we're going to stamp on that one as well. And then these, when you cut these out, this is how I cut them. So on your 6x6, I would take the 6x6 paper and then just cut one end off 5.25. Okay, so the sheet's 5.25, and then turn it. And then we want the DSP, so I cut the 2.5 inch first, and then cut the 2 inches. So it's 2.5, then 2 inches by 5.25, and then this one should be what's left over. Okay, so that should be left over from it. So anyway, so that's that. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and then let's go ahead and stamp on. So I'm using the Memento ink, which I really love using, because especially when I'm going to color blends. So I tend to, for the bigger stamps, I tend to put those down, and then I could tell when I have ink out of, I need to re-ink my Memento. It's so used. I love it. I use it all the time. Anyway, so this is a buddy. It looks cute even this way. So then just gonna put that on, hold it down for a couple seconds, and there. Isn't she sweet? Very sweet. And then I always clean them off. Turn this around. Clean this off with this with our chamois, which really makes it easy. You can tell it's been used a lot. And then I just keep it in one of our clear boxes. It works great. Okay, so that's that. And then we will let that dry for a couple minutes, and then we will color it. I'm going to move Buddy over here. And then let's see. I'm really living dangerously today because I don't normally stamp on camera, especially not like this, like live. So I'm going to use the Grapefruit Grove, and I love the Grapefruit Grove. I just love that color. So we're going to stamp this here, and then we're going to stamp this piece here. So, see. Okay, so let's do this first. And I put this towards the top always. So I try to like line it up a little bit, and then put my Grapefruit Grove on. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I try to wipe this off because invariably it will get on something or on my fingers, and then I'll end up screwing it up somewhere else. Anyway, so I'm going to stamp, make sure I've got it upside down. Nope. Okay, so we're going to stamp that up here. Of course, you could use any color you like. I don't know, I'm just really stuck on trying everything to like coordinate. So you can see it came out really well, I think. So let that dry for a second and wipe this off. I'm trying to be really good about wiping these things off when I'm going. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do this little hollyhock and the fence, and I'm going to do those in the Memento ink again because I am going to color them a little bit with the blends. And I don't know, these hollyhocks, I call them hollyhocks, but they're really kind of funny because hollyhocks, if you're familiar with them, my grandfather used to grow them out by the barn, but if you're familiar with them, they're really tall, like maybe 8 or 10 feet sometimes. So this buddy is huge. It's like giant compared to these hollyhocks. So I can't really call them hollyhocks unless they're just a miniature version. But anyway, isn't that pretty? I love it. It looks to me, you know, the sharpness of our of all of our dies are just amazing. And for me, they're just so great without any color. But if you just, you know, put some color on them, it's just amazing how much it pops. So anyway, so we're going to do the little fence piece, which I really like too. Somebody said, Tony, how come you're not coloring the fence piece? Well, where I come from, fences were white. And so I just like them to be this way. But you could make your fence any color. It's your fence. Do it however you like. Okay, but I think you'll enjoy making this card because people, and I'm telling you, people love getting cards in the mail. And, especially now when you can't really get out, it's just wonderful to get something in the mail. I don't know about you, but other than bills or some of the flyers and stuff they send, but the spam stuff, I call it. Okay, so we're going to do the hugs up here. I always have to check to make sure I'm not doing it upside down. I'd be so embarrassed. This one, I love this hugs and love, and prayers, because, what else do you need? You've got hugs and prayers. I just can't even imagine what more you would need. So when you're sending that to somebody, I don't know, it's just so nice to do. Anyway, so, okay, I've got all my stamping done, and I'm running my mouth a little bit too much, so I'm going to pull my blends back in, and I'll color these. And I don't know about you, I don't always color things before I cut them out, but today I'm going to color them first. So I'm going to do the little buddy, and you could use the it's like a brush tip, or you could use the line tip. And I tend to always use this because I'm a painter as well. Not really, I'm not famous or anything, but I like to paint sometimes, and so I like to use the different colors. So I always use the light and the dark, almost always. And I'm going to give the bunny a little peak nose, and I'm going to give her, it's going to be a little girl, so I'm going to give her peak cheeks. Okay, so that's the light color. It kind of looks dark to me always, but then I just until you put the dark in, and then you notice it. We have some really nice peaks in our collection. And they're blends, so they just really do blend well. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do her sweater. I love this color too, the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to do the light color first. I think I need to get a new one of this because I use it all the time. This is really a pretty color. Isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. Our stamps are just amazing, the detail of them. Okay. That, and then I'm just going to do dark. I'm just going to do the buttons. But honestly, they look good without a whole lot of extra on them. This one's a little bit heavier today, but it'll look great afterwards. I could just go back and touch it up with the yellow, with the lighter color, and it kind of blends it a little more. And that'll dry. Okay, and then the bunny. I always like to do the bunny in. I don't know. The crumb cake just seems to fit the bunny color to me. But these, yeah, it's light and dark. So I'm going to do the bunny, and she looks perfect, just white. But I have the color, so I might as well use them. Okay. So it's amazing to me. You don't really have to do a whole lot, and it just looks perfect. It looks, well, I was growing up, I love to color. And I don't know about you, getting a coloring book and getting a new box of Crayola 64 crayons was like, oh my gosh, that's what I always wanted for Christmas, because my brother was younger than me. He was always breaking my crayons. So, anyway, but I loved coloring, and so I would always outline. One of my cousins showed me how she would do it, and so I always outlined everything before I actually colored it in. And so this brings back lots of happy memories for me. But anyway, you could leave your bunny white, or you could color it in. I don't know, I just like doing it. Messing with it. Okay, so we're going to cut her out in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and color these while we're doing it. So I'm going to go back and use these again. And I like these. There's flowers. There's flowers and leaves. And I just kind of do like a little stripe here, because you don't have to, it's just kind of messy. And it looks great. It's like, you don't have to be really precise about this. It's, trust me, I think it looks great. You don't have to do a whole lot. So anyway, it's easy peasy. So then I just go back here and just touch some little dark ends, the circles or wherever, just to give it a little bit of highlights, and kind of makes it pop a little bit more. But it doesn't hurt if you go over at all. And then I'm going to do the leaves, and I really like the Granny Apple for this because it's so springy looking. The leaves, when they first come out in the spring, they always seem really light and everything, and then as the summer progresses, they get darker green. Have you ever noticed that? I've noticed it. It's really, really bright green in the spring, and then as the summer goes on, it deepens, they get darker green. Okay, so I'm going to leave my fence white, but I'm just going to add some little bit of sprigs of grass there. It's kind of just wherever. So then I'm just going to go back up here and add some dark in a few places. And it's just squiggle there, and squiggle here, and squiggle there. Okay. And our buddy's going to go in between here, so that'll be fine. So I'm going to set that over here. This is what I do. Someone told me this, but you could, if you didn't save this little piece, so you just put this little piece over here, the trace around it, because these whiskers, I can't even imagine fussy cutting, but we fussy cut this. And so, but you can, if you didn't have this piece again, you could just turn this over like this and just trace around this, right? It cuts out a lot faster. But like I said, you don't have to do that at all, because you could do it however you want. I've got an 8-pin here somewhere. Let's see. I know I have an 8-pin because I just had it here. What did I do with it? Oh, goodness gracious. What did I do with it? Sorry. Bear with me. It's lost on my desk. It's a blue. Do you see it anywhere? It's a blue pin. This one will work. This is black. Okay. So I'm going to use this because I happen to save it, because when I was at the North Carolina demo meeting this past fall, someone told me this, and I'm like, dang, I've never figured this out. But for me, it just saves me a little bit of time, and I think it looks good anyway. But again, you could do it however you like, because it's your project. Just one way to do it. Okay, so snips, snips, snips. I have 2 pairs of snips. Okay, here they are. So these things are really sharp. So I don't know if you found out yet, but they're really, really sharp. So, okay, so I think, and you cut on the inside, obviously, of this mark, but see the whiskers? Whew, I can't imagine fussy cutting those. And then let's go around. I know there's probably people that are much better at this, but I've had a little bit of coffee, so I'm a little shaky. It's my lifeblood, is my coffee in the mornings. I'm a night owl, so I typically don't go to sleep until morning, and then I don't get up before 9:30 or 10 usually. Yesterday I was up early for some reason. Isn't that cool? See, that was pretty fast, huh? Well, you can see on the card, I don't know if you noticed, but you could see. And then I just used dimensionals to pop her up. Oh, okay. So I think we've got all that done. And now we're ready to assemble the card. You guys have any questions? I'm not able to look at the comments right now, because I will completely forget what I'm doing. So I apologize that if you're saying something to me and I'm not paying attention. I will respond to you later, I promise. Okay. So usually I'm going to just glue these two together, and I really like using my Tombow. Maybe you could use the adhesive, the more permanent adhesive, but Tombow. But for me, I like a little extra time, so this kind of gives me a little extra time to try to get it straight. And sometimes we don't get it straight, but you just don't want to sweat it, because it's a card that you made. You made it for someone, and you just do the best you can. It's a handmade card. not supposed to, it doesn't have to look perfect. It's made with love. It's made by you. And that should be enough, right? I've never seen anybody that said, Tony, I really love the card that you sent me, but you know, it was just a little crooked. No one's ever said that. Nope. They always say, thank you for thinking of me. It really means a lot. And I'm sure you get those same kinds of responses. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. I made probably 25 of these card, maybe. I don't know. I love it. I never get tired of it because the buddy is just so cute. And this paper, I mean, you get this paper. Our papers are amazing. I know those of you that are demos, you just know how wonderful the paper is. And yeah, you could go out and buy something less expensive, but you know, if you could do it, I mean, Stampin' Up papers are color coordinated. The colors are so nice with the inks. And I know I've talked about it before, but so anyway, this wood goes here, and this wood will go here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them on. And so when I cut the papers out, I always make, if the card base is 5.5, then I make the pieces that Designer Series paper is going to go there 1/4 inch smaller, so that you get, I love having the little edge here surrounding the border. And lately I've been making so many cards with the white Whisper White cardstock, and I guess because it's spring, but I love the Very Vanilla, and I just lately, I don't know, all the papers I've been using have white, and so I haven't really ventured into doing as much, so I've been doing the white ones. Anyway, so basically just line this up. There's plenty of space here for it, and to all fit. Will be crowded. And then this one goes here. I'm going to put that in. And then we will put the front on. And the last thing I'll do is pop the little buddy up, because sometimes I put the dimensionals on, but I kind of like to not do it right at the beginning. Okay. Something there. A little thing to have ink on my finger, so this will take the ink off. Yep, works great. Okay, so you can see where we've got the hugs, prayers, and love, and I don't always do this, but when I remember it, I try to do it. So this piece here, you could put it anywhere you want. You know, you could move it over however you want, or you could move it all the way back here, which is what I'm going to do on this card, because you could kind of see the sentiment. The only thing I will caution you on, and you could probably imagine that I've done this before, right? I may or may not have done this before, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to tell you that make sure that you don't put ink over any adhesive on this little piece that's right here. Because, I mean, unless you really want to, because you won't be able to open this anymore like that, because it'll be glued. So when you put your glue, what I do is I put my glue only on this piece, and I make sure I have got a little border so that I don't make that mistake that I may or may not have done before. So you could take it over closer to this edge, because as long as you don't go over it, because you know what I said, it may or may not be a bad thing. Okay, so I'm going to take it all the way over to the edge, because I don't really want a border. And I put glue, I already touched it down. See, I may or may not have been intended to do that. But anyway, it's too late now. So it's water under the bridge. I will show you on this one. So on this one, you'll see that I have a little border here. So it really shows your sentiment more. And but this one is just another option for you. You don't have to do that. So you could just pull it up, do that. Okay, so now we'll get some dimensionals out and prop the little buddy up. So here's dimensionals. And I usually put 3. If you're going to send it to a little kid or something, or you know, you could put more dimensionals on it because you want the ears. You thought they might bend it or something. But I usually think 3's enough. Okay, I hope you guys are having a really great day. Let's see. I'm gonna put it here. Look at the buddy. You could add a bow to it if you wanted. You could add anything to it you want. But you could put more sentiments in here. You could put some additional buddies. The other thing I was going to do, I don't think I have a buddy. I was going to show you. But I thought would be really cute, I'll use this card, was if you wanted to add a second buddy, you could put him like, you could glue him right back here. And just like let him peeking around the card. Wouldn't that be cute? But I haven't done it. But you could do 3 even. Be cute. And you wouldn't have to put well, I like that one there, but you could just do, and you could put them all different colors. Would that be cute? Anyway, but you just want to glue it back here. So anyway, okay, so that's that. Anyway, I think I'm done, and thank you so much for dialing in and being on my video. And you could go to my Riverview studio, so it's https riverviewstudio.stampinup.net, and my email is theriverviewcreative@gmail.com, or Riverview Creative Studio on Facebook. And I am doing a demo. I'm doing a new website, and I will be doing a blog. So I've written a blog that includes how to do this card, and I wanted to do a video to accompany it. So there'll be photos and steps on how to create the card, and it'll be out probably in a couple days. But I'm going to premiere my my website probably maybe in the next week or so. Okay, again, thank you, and have a wonderful Holy Week, and God bless. Bye-bye.